Our mission is to help everyone experience more joy with pets. It's such a deep part of our culture. It stems from really believing in the importance of that human-animal bond and celebrating the joy that pets bring every day. We have an omni-channel experience that spans all of the products, services, and experiences that pet parents might need throughout every stage of their pets' lives at a time when many programs across the news were pulling back and sort of devaluing their programs. We went a different route. We kept our program free and we made it even more rewarding for pet parents. Treats Rewards lets us create a 360-degree view of how pet parents engage across that omni-channel experience at PetSmart, and it really helps us better understand our pet parents' wants and needs and deliver, a much more personalized experience back to them.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV, a show for loyalty marketing professionals. I'm Paula Thomas, the founder and CEO of Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV, where we feature insightful conversations with loyalty professionals from the world's leading brands. Today's episode is hosted by Bridget Blaise-Shamai, former president of the AA Advantage program, the award-winning travel rewards program of American Airlines. Bridget is a global C-suite executive and is currently advising VC-backed startups in loyalty, travel, and payments. Enjoy.
Welcome, everyone, to this edition of Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV. Our guest today is Emily Feldman, Senior Director of Loyalty and Membership Experience at PetSmart. Privately held and headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona, here in the United States, PetSmart offers a broad range of products and services for pets and their pet parents, including food, apparel, grooming, and even in-store pet adoption. With more than 1,500 retail stores in the United States, Puerto Rico, and Canada, PetSmart is a big player in the $160 billion U.S.-Canada pet care industry. Through my conversation with Emily, you'll learn how PetSmart earns the trust and loyalty of their customers through retail experiences designed for pet parents to feel joy in the care of their pets. With an integrated omni-channel structure brought to life through well-trained and enthusiastic pet-loving employees, friendly customer and employee technology, and its loyalty program, Treat Rewards, tying it all together, PetSmart makes it easy, rewarding, and joyful for customers to care for their beloved pets. Hello, Emily. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We're delighted to have you. It's such a great brand to have on Let's Talk Loyalty. So let's get at it. We always like to kick off the show with the question of the moment from the founder of Let's Talk Loyalty, Paula Thomas. And currently that question is, please share with the audience a nonfiction book that has influenced your thinking on loyalty marketing or leadership, or just in a greater business application that has really been a part of your success in your career.
Yeah, thank you for the question. I love reading, and so it's been really nice and interesting to think about this question. And for me, one book that comes to mind is Freakonomics by Stephen Dubner and Stephen Levitt. And I just really love how you can use behavioral economics and incentive structures to better understand real world behavior, and sometimes in very unexpected ways. And on a personal level, the book resonates with me because Stephen Levitt was actually one of my professors at the University of Chicago. And so I remember taking his class, and it really sparked a deep interest in me and how to understand people, and where they behave logically and where we can create the right structures to shape that behavior. And, that sort of deep understanding and thinking about data and how to explain human behavior is a big part of and really inspires the work that we do here, creating the architecture for loyalty at PetSmart.
Great. I'm sure you lean into that, both academic experience and the book itself, as you lead what you lead at PetSmart.
Yeah, it's great and sometimes very unexpected in how you can use data to understand people. And I think it just keeps you asking questions. So are you always questioning why something is happening and thinking about real world ways that you can, shape that behavior through either access to information or incentives that you're setting up for people.
Right, really, how is all helping to affect the desired behavior you want of your PetSmart customers? So terrific answer. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it with in such great detail
Thank you.
too. So let's build upon this a bit again for our audience benefit. Tell us a bit about your background and what is your current area of focus with PetSmart?
Yeah. Yeah, my background has always been in strategy and analytics. I came from a career in management consulting before joining PetSmart strategy. And when I moved from strategy to loyalty and personalization, it was at a really interesting time for PetSmart as our organization really tries to think differently about how we use data to encourage engagement with our customers. And so I've always had a focus on how can we use data to drive business results. And what I really love about loyalty in my current job is that I can do that. I have all the rigor and the data, and there's so much data with loyalty. But you also have that creativity and passion. One of our values at PetSmart is passion for pets. And so you'll hear me talk about that a lot. And on a personal level, I bring that passion every day. I have a dog actually here today with me. I'm a recent pet parent mom to a crested gecko. I have fish. I've always had a variety of pets throughout my life, and I love that at PetSmart, I get the opportunity and loyalty to think about the passion and creativity and all the things that matter to our pet parents, but also that really sort of deep data. How do we use data to drive the right results? And so it's a great fit in industry for me.
Great to hear and really love hearing really the marriage of the technical data as a foundation, but really there's a lot of emotion
Yeah.
in the softer side of what it means to be affecting the behavior of a pet parent in caring for their pet. Might your own pet make a guest appearance today?
He's actually a very nervous rescue that I got at a PetSmart Charities adoption event, and while he's grown comfortable being at PetSmart over the years, he's a little camera shy.
Camera shy. Okay, well, we will not stress him out today. And then, our last questions before we really kind of jump into the interview itself. Tell our readers or our listeners about which loyalty program or programs you really admire and participate in.
Yeah, it would be impossible to choose just one, and I find myself thinking about this question quite a lot. I find different parts of different programs really inspiring. Some in how they create the right digital experience that puts loyalty at the heart and really simplifies things for members. Some because of the emotional connection or personalization that they're able to achieve. Some in how they recognize their best customers. And so I thought of three that I want to talk through a little bit. One is Safeway. I'm really impressed by how that program simplifies the digital experience in an industry that typically isn't very digital heavy. And so I think that that's been a really great journey to watch over time. Nordstrom, Nordy Club does a great job of really making their best customers feel special and building that deep relationship over time. You think about things like private shopping after hours, or all the sort of invite only events that they hold. And then the last one, Sephora, I really like the sort of community that they're able to build and the personalization, deep understanding of their customer that they're able to build. And I think in many ways, Sephora and PetSmart have a lot of similarities because um, we are specialty retail and it is based on how we know our customers. And, for Sephora, that passion is beauty, and at PetSmart, that passion is pets. And so I think it really helps us, um, drive loyalty in specialty retail where that passion is shared across the associate and the customer base.
It was one of the best answers I've heard on favorite loyalty programs. And I'll tell you why,
Ooh, thank
with
you.
your Safeway example, you zeroed in on ease of engagement through digital capabilities. And then with Nordstrom's, you talked about access to events. And then on the Sephora, you talked about a sense of community. And each of those elements are just critical in having a successful loyalty program, making it easy to engage with the brand, having a sense of beyond incentives that there's something out there that I can access in an advantaged, privileged way because I'm a member. Then lastly, that really important sense I belong. I'm included, the
Yeah.
sense of community. So terrific answer. And I too am a Nordy
Thank
fan.
you.
So we are very like-minded here, Emily. Okay, so let's get started with about the culture at PetSmart, and let's really help our listeners understand how that influences creating the joyful pet parent experiences that is involved in earning the trust of the loyalty of the pet parents to PetSmart.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you asked this question. Our mission is to help everyone experience more joy with pets. And it's such a deep part of our culture. It stems from really believing in the importance of that human animal bond and celebrating the joy that pets bring every day. You don't work at PetSmart unless you share that passion. And it really impacts um, how we operate, both at the home office, but also in our stores. One of the things that's really important to us is making sure that our associates are empowered to recognize milestones and celebrate those moments with pet parents, and also that they deeply feel those moments themselves. I have an example that I've been thinking about from just a few months ago where a longtime Treats Rewards couple were getting married and their venue didn't let them bring their pets with them. And so they often board at PetSmart Pets Hotel, and they left their two dogs with PetSmart for the weekend. When our associates found out, they were very excited to sort of help participate and celebrate that moment. They, without the pet parents knowing, they booked the pets into a ton of sort of spa day activities. They did a photo shoot that was wedding themed. They built a huge gift basket. And when the pet parents came back from their wedding as newlyweds, they were really excited to receive sort of the framed photos, the gift basket, and to have their pets be part of that special day in that way. Unfortunately, a few months later, one of the pets was a senior pup, and he did pass away. And the pet parents reached back out to us to just share how deeply meaningful that celebration was, and being able to have them part of that was. And you know, while that one moment actually was covered in People magazine, I think the real magic is that moments like that are at the heart of the PetSmart and the Treats Rewards experience every day. And there's thousands of moments like that every day that happen with pet parents in PetSmart.
That's wonderful to learn about really the length that PetSmart goes to provide the care, and what then is the reaction, how it makes the pet parent feel about the care for their beloved pet, their dependent, right? I mean, it's really great to see
Yeah.
the lengths that PetSmart goes to create joy in the pet parent's care of their pet.
And I love being in loyalty because we hear so many of those stories from our associates, from pet parents. Um, and it's a really amazing part of the role, honestly, a part of this team and industry.
Wonderful to have such first order involvement with the pet parents. So thinking about this a bit, supporting the PetSmart business priority is PetSmart's well integrated commercial and servicing model, making it easy and fun for customers to engage with the PetSmart brand. Tell us a bit about PetSmart's integrated ecosystem.
Yeah, PetSmart does it all. We have an omni-channel experience that spans all of the products, services, and experiences that pet parents might need throughout every stage of their pets' lives. And whether that's in your neighborhood as you stop by the store to shop or to bring your pet in for services, or in the palm of your hand as you're booking that appointment, browsing what to do. Um, maybe scheduling auto ship or same day delivery to access the ease and convenience of PetSmart at home. And Treats Rewards really is the connective tissue that sits on top of that experience and makes sure that that experience is equally rewarding. You're earning and redeeming points across any of those touch points. We're recognizing your engagement across all of those touch points and who you are as a pet parent. And so our model is to deliver all of those things that pet parents might need in one place, and then Treats Rewards is the way to provide that more seamless, rewarding experience, regardless of where you're interacting with PetSmart.
So Treat Rewards really kind of connects it all together.
Yeah.
Given that you've introduced now the Treat Rewards here in our conversation, let's go a bit deeper. Tell us a bit about the program's objectives, its design, and how you measure success, especially as the true end consumer is the pet.
Yeah, I think it is a funny way to think about, we really want to make the pets happy and the pet parents happy. And we think about the program as creating opportunities for joy. And what's more joyful than being rewarded for giving your pet the best care? We relaunched the program in 2024, and we were building on an already strong foundation. Around 95% of sales are attached to members. And at a time when many programs across the news were pulling back and sort of devaluing their programs, we went a different route. We kept our program free and we made it even more rewarding for pet parents. One of the tenets and objectives is that we wanted to introduce a structure where the more you engage, the more you're rewarded with PetSmart. And so when you think about the sort of new structure of the program's still free. We simplified our earn and redeem math. We launched a new app experience that really focused on simplified ways to engage. We launched new benefits that connected PetSmart and PetSmart charities and really, built on that shared passion that our pet parents have for animal welfare. And we launched new tiers. So we have 3 tiers: member, bestie, and VIPP. VIPP stands for very important pet parent, and it delivers the highest level of rewards back to our members. One other thing that I'll share is offer activation is a really central and important part of our experience. It gives members more control over their savings, and with one click, members can activate offers. It's very common to find 10% or 20% back in savings in the app, and members who engage more in that way, either as they climb tiers or they choose offer activation, can really accelerate their savings through our free program. I think one more thing I'll say about our tiered program is that very important pet parent tier, it delivers the highest sort of value back, of course, but it also brings pet parents a lot of emotional engagement and recognition from the brand. And one of the things I'm proud of that we introduced earlier this year is a new benefit for anyone that adopts pets in a PetSmart store. And there's hundreds of thousands of adopters every year for all different species of pets at PetSmart. And one of the cool things that we've done is all of our adopters have access to very important all of our adopters have access to VIPP status, and they're able to get the top tier of our loyalty program for that year plus the year after, as a great way to just welcome them and celebrate starting a new life with their new adopted pet.
That's all really amazing stuff. That's all really centered around Treat Rewards. Let's talk a little bit about, how are you measuring the success? I appreciate you've done some redesign of the program, making it simpler, and your tiers and the offer activation, et cetera. But 95% of customers being a part of Treat Rewards is outstanding. I mean, that's just a fact I've never heard before in a loyalty program. So well done. But how do
Thank
you
you.
sit there at the end of the day and say Treat Rewards is doing what it's meant to do?
Yeah. For us, it's all about how we're driving incremental behavior and business results through the engagement of our pet parents. And so we have, we think about measuring the program in a few different ways. Really, we're looking at all of the different ways that customers engage, how that engagement changes as they choose to, start activating offers, as they're redeeming points, as they're deepening their relationship with PetSmart. Um, they're rewarded more, and that's driving that long-term sort of trust and choice in a very competitive industry. Our data consistently shows that a loyalty structure that rewards your best customers differently and really rewards engagement is much better than a one-size-fits-all peanut butter approach. And so we look at that. We're looking at the data very closely. We're also looking at, we talked about emotional loyalty and engagement. That's really important to us. So we are constantly looking at what our members are saying, how they're talking about satisfaction, how they're advocating for the program. And not just our members, but also our associates. How are they engaging and advocating for the program? Because they're such a big part of what makes PetSmart and Treats Rewards successful.
I'm glad to hear that. You use like structured data to help with your measurement and also unstructured data, as you just mentioned, using survey
Yeah.
results to help influence and guide your directing of the program. So I'm going to take away from this that this redesigned program is working as intended and you're all quite satisfied with.
We're very happy with Treats Rewards, and we know our members are really happy with Treats Rewards and our associates, and so that's what sort of keeps us going every day. And we're not done, right? There's a lot more that we can do and grow together.
So looking at the big smile on your face, I take that as a big marker of success that you're leading at PetSmart. So well done, Emily. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about earning customers' loyalty.
Thank you.
Is the result of many interactions, right? It's just not one, but many interactions a customer will have with the PetSmart brand, right? Including making it easy for customers to engage with PetSmart through employee and with the employees and with technology. Let's go a bit deeper in these two key areas that we've already touched on, but let's go a little bit deeper. Let's describe what a customer can expect or not expect through an in-store experience and how employee engagement positively affects customer loyalty.
Yeah, I love the question. You don't choose to work at PetSmart unless you love pets. And that passion for pets really anchors what you expect to find in store. And frankly, digitally too. I don't know if you know this, but more than 90% of PetSmart's digital orders are fulfilled by store associates, which is pretty incredible. And store associates, they're not only bringing that passion for pets, but also deep knowledge and expertise and care. And that is what builds trust with our pet parents. We talked about it a little bit before, but every associate at PetSmart is automatically granted VIPP status, which is the highest tier of our loyalty program. And we do that because we want associates to authentically be able to engage and advocate for how to get the best savings and how to get the best experience with PetSmart. And so, it's not only making sure that they're using it, we also collect a ton of feedback from our associates on how, they're finding the program, on opportunities with pet parents. And it's actually really great. We have some really robust two-way communication channels. We call it Central Bark at PetSmart, and it lets us sort of one-to-one communicate with every associate in the store. Anyone that has questions, we're answering back, on a daily basis, collecting feedback and really letting them showcase their expertise and loyalty and ideas on what we can do to enhance the pet parent associate or sorry, the pet parent experience in store with our associates. So yeah.
Tell me about how the the employee is empowered, even in real time, to do something that absolutely is a part about earning the loyalty of the pet parent.
Yeah, I think that one, they do it themselves naturally because they deeply care. And so, I not my current dog who he's too anxious to be you know, outside of the home, but my previous dog used to go to doggy day camp and PetSmart for boarding. And actually my nervous dog uses PetSmart for boarding too when I leave him. But one of the things I've always been impressed by is the associates at the Pets Hotel know everything about my pet. They know every moment of their stay. They have picture books of years of built relationships with pet parents, and so they will naturally do it as you're in the store. Um, and our job as loyalty and treats rewards is to really help enable them and give them structure to bring even more joy to pet parents. So one of the things that we did this year was actually through a partnership with Shutterfly. We helped enable all of our services associates to create custom holiday cards for their pet parents, and continue building that relationship in stores and to really celebrate it. And we were very honored to be a part of that annual tradition.
All of it. And it sounds like they have space to surprise and delights for customers too while they're in the store.
Yeah, definitely.
Terrific. That's just awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the technology piece, right? You started off in talking about one of your favorite programs, Safeway, its digital presence and its capabilities, and it just makes it easy to engage with them through technology. Talk about how PetSmart is making it easy for pet parents to engage through technology.
Yeah, of course. The heart of our sort of technology experience is our app, and that through that app experience, you can do everything at PetSmart. You can shop, you can get product delivered same day, you can manage your auto ship, you can book services appointments or see what your previous appointments were. You can update your pet's pharmacy information. And Treats Rewards is right at the heart of that experience. So in the Treats Rewards section of the app, you can see your qualifying spend, your tier status, your points history. And one of the most important things you can do is offer activation. And I think, we have one of the best offer activation experiences in retail. It's one button click, whether you're in the app or in email or even in SMS. So one click activation across all of those experiences, which we're really proud of.
These are just great on how the people side and the tech side work together alongside the incentives to really be the preferred pet care brand. So really playing to your strength and your passion around data. PetSmart has a lot of data, right? From the customer engagement across the entire ecosystem, and notably through treat rewards. How does PetSmart put that data to work in creating the joyful and profitable experiences, both for the customers on the joyful side and for PetSmart on the profitable side?
Yeah. And both are really important. And loyalty is really, it's the primary mechanism where you're both collecting, but also playing back that data for pet parents. So Treats Rewards lets us create a 360-degree view of how pet parents engage across that omni-channel experience at PetSmart. And it really helps us better understand our pet parents' wants and needs and deliver a much more personalized experience back to them, whether that's through product recommendations, people like you also buy, appointment reminders. We make it really easy to rebook with your same stylist, which is always helpful. And then, of course, there's the offers piece of giving them personalized offers at the right time. One of the most important pieces of data that we collect is actually about your pets. So better understanding your pet's birthday or their gotcha day. I love what we've been able to do with birthday, and we're just getting started, honestly, is, we have special offers for your pet's birthday. We're going to give you some free Treats Rewards points, some partner offers, some ways to earn. But we're also going to make sure that data gets to the stores and to our customer care team and to other places so that when you're interacting, they're able to wish you or your pet a happy birthday and really celebrate that moment. And we know that pet parents really care about celebrating their pets' birthdays. And so, one of the things we've launched this year is actually in-store birthday events. And so we're giving all of those pet parents with an in-store birthday event or even a gotcha day event an opportunity to come together and to celebrate and get some goodies in store and really keep building that PetSmart community.
Great examples of how you're turning your data into really commercial events. So Really, really love that. So we talked a bit about, PetSmart is a specialty retailer, right? So whatever kind of retail you are, it's a tough sector, full stop, right?
Yeah.
And retail is detail. How many times have we all have heard that? So tell us what and how PetSmart kind of sweats the details to affect the desired pet parent behavior.
Yeah, and you're so right. Details really matter. They really matter in specialty retail, especially and at PetSmart, we help pet parents take care of dozens of species of pets that each have their own unique needs, and better understanding those needs and serving the right information, having the right, knowledge and training for our associates really helps build that trust with pet parents. And so, here's an example of a time where where we're able to really bring those details to life. So if you are, we recently ran an offer where if you purchased a 6-week training class, the day after you purchase that class in your account, you would find a bonus point offer for all of the recommendations from your trainer that you're going to be hearing about and talking about for the next 6 weeks while you're in that class. And all of those recommendations came to us from our PetSmart trainers. And so you're getting that information at a very timely, in a very timely way, right? When you need it most with your pets, you're getting the information that reinforces what you're learning in class. And it really helps us, you know, helps that pet parent feel understood where they are in their journey. And it lets us, really shape that behavior and deliver a better experience for them. And you see that really throughout the ecosystem and in store, but also online, and in how we are helping make it easier for you to shop and easier for you to take care of, your unique family of pets.
Easier is such an operative word and it's such an important thing to be doing as a brand for customers. So well done. So we've covered an awful lot here in our podcast. I want to just give you an opportunity. Is there anything else you'd like the listeners to know about what PetSmart is up to and really leading the way in many ways in specialty retail with loyalty?
I guess I'd leave by just reinforcing, our program is simple and free. We're rewarding members. The more they engage, the more they're getting rewarded. Offer activation sits at the very heart of that experience, but none of that would be, as meaningful as it is without that like deep shared passion for pets that we share with our pet parents and our associates.
All of it matters, right? All of it matters. Well, thank you so much, Emily. This has been a great interview. I've enjoyed every bit of it. Where best for our listeners to get in touch with you?
Always on LinkedIn. I think that's a great place to get in touch. I love hearing from other loyalty professionals, and Bridget, I really appreciate, your time and experience and in having this conversation. So thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure for me. It's been a pleasure for the entire Let's Talk Loyalty team. And appreciate your time. And hey, listeners, we'll drop Emily's contact details in the chat. And thank everyone for being with us today. And until next time, take care.